And this is how we supplement our wood heat. I know, it looks like a mess, doesn't it? But we are lucky enough that we live, or I should say, in some ways it's lucky, some ways it's very unlucky. We live close to a town. And every spring, they cut down trees in town. And they have to spend a small fortune to have them hauled off. So I drive around in our trusty truck, and I offer to take away their wood for free. Yes, I'm kind in that manner. So we've gotten, this is what we picked up this year. And we picked it up earlier in the summer, and this is still from what we picked up left. We have some there and here that we picked up from last year that Ronnie's splitting for this year. So, and this will get cut and split up for next year. And a lot of it's smaller, but that's fine. That's our kindling. And then underneath is the big stuff. And there is some huge stuff. And we've got quite a few that are like this size. And I'll put my hand here so you can get an idea. That's how big they are, okay? And like I said, you can look at those. And once they get all cut and split, then they'll get moved over here. So, like I said, we've got 3 racks of firewood plus 2 stacks over there that are already cut and split and ready for this year. And we'll definitely have some leftover. There's the missing glove. And we'll have some leftover. And then, you know, even my friends, that bag in that box right there, if you'll look, it's got pieces of kindling. When people cut their wood, they think about us because we don't have a lot of friends that have wood-burning stoves. We have one that has a fireplace, and they use their fireplace quite a lot, but obviously it's not as efficient as a wood-burning stove, but it does help them. They have a living room that is open to their dining room, and it warms up that area quite nicely in their house. And I wanted to say one more thing about the wood-burning wood-burning stove, I should say. It also cuts down on our electric bill because I use it to cook. And I know what you're saying. Look, it's a flat top. And I know what you're saying, but it's a wood stove. It's not a cook stove. Right, you're right. But I cook on it. I have my cast iron cookware, and I can make bread and cakes. I make chilies and soups and stews. I don't fry on it. And it's not that I can't, because you can boil easily and you can get the temperatures up on the top. That's not a problem. I just don't like to have grease all over my wood-burning stove, so I don't fry on it, anything like that. But let me tell you what, you can simmer some chili and some soups on here, and you can have some really good meals. And if you know how to use a Dutch oven, then you can cook on top of this. And you can cook inside of there too when you're running a low fire. So, yeah, absolutely you can cook with your wood-burning stove too. So take that into consideration if you ever ended up in a situation where your electric went down. And even here in Texas, we've had that happen in the winter. We had an ice storm come in one time. Took out the electric for like a day and a half. I know that doesn't sound like much, but for people that didn't have any heat in their house and it was freezing cold outside, a day and a half was a long time to be without heat. And if without electric to cook, most of them have, like this house, before we installed this, and we added some little propane things that are not like installed in the house, but we have propane options for them. Before we did that, we were completely 100% electric. So, and another great thing about this that I'm sure a lot of you coffee drinkers will love, I keep that trivet up there because when my coffee's finished making, I sit it up there and I keep my coffee warm when this stove is running. And sometimes even after I'm letting it die down, it's just perfect to keep that coffee warm. So, a lot of little things to think of there.